So last week, I was laying in bed, started using my phone, went to YouTube. I was presented with this video, and I watch a lot of SnazzyLabs. Quinn Nelson is his name, I believe. And as you can see from the title of the video, real iMessage on Android, no Apple ID needed. And I said, wait a minute, what? So I watched it, 15 minutes, not too long, and I said, I need to give it a try. Need to give it a try. And I will tell you, if you're interested in the underlying explanation as to how this was possible, please watch that video. It was great. But when we come back to Beeper's actual website, they have, I think Beeper Cloud is the original Beeper, which required you to do a bunch of stuff. And again, watch Quinn Nelson's video to explain everything. But they've recently created something called Beeper Mini, and that allows you to download the app to your phone, register your phone number with one of Apple's servers, and then boom, through the app, you can now send iMessages to your iPhone counterparts. Yes, it's available on the Google Play Store. It would not make sense for it to be available in the iOS App Store. Like, that would be pointless, but it's there. And I was super excited. I downloaded it, started using it. Yes, you get a free 7-day trial, and then after that, it's $2 a month. And I said, for $2, I'll give it a try. And of course, you get a week to just try it out. And from I think it was either Tuesday or Wednesday, I started using it. Worked exactly the way it was supposed to. Again, you don't have to log in with your Apple ID, but you can if you have other Apple products and you want to be able to message cohesively, or I guess I should say seamlessly, between your Android phone and your Apple products. And it worked. Logged in, did a little two-step verification. It showed that I was attempting to log in from a device locally, not some random server somewhere else in the world. And I said, this is exactly what I need. I have my Android phone, and I'm able to send RCS messages to other people who have Android devices. But through the Beeper app, now I can send iMessages to those people that have iPhones. And that was absolutely great. Now, before we go any further, the one thing that I wish companies like Beeper and other people who know better, this is not an insult. It really isn't. But when in my opinion, the average iPhone user, sees two things. They see green and they see blue. And that's it. Not understanding that the technology behind both of those different technologies, the underlying tech, has nothing to do with the color of the bubble. It's just what Apple chose. And I think at one point in time, somebody said that green was for old, antiquated technologies, but blue was for more modern stuff. I really don't know. But the color of the bubble does not matter. In fact, you should be able to change it to whatever you want. And I believe that in Google Messages, they just announced that rolling out soon, users will be able to change the color of the bubbles. Colors of the bubble don't matter. It's what's underneath. It's sending old SMS/MMS or sending your messages through the internet. And with iMessage, you send your messages through the internet and you're afforded things that are more modern. So yes, you get your typing indicators, you get your read receipts, you get high-res videos and pictures. But I think what's most important is you get encryption. With iMessage, you get encryption. With RCS, you get encryption. With regular SMS, you do not get encryption. So again, colors don't matter. It's the underlying technologies that are important. But the unfortunate truth is this. Already, Apple has seemingly found a way to block Android's new iMessage app. Yep. So on Friday, last night, I sent a message and just put my phone down. And then when I picked it back up, because I was like, it's weird that people haven't responded to anything yet. I looked, and hopefully I'll put it on the screen right now. But I got an error saying that whatever's on the screen right now. Essentially, it looks like the phone was no longer able to talk to one of Apple's servers. So I tried to send again, kept getting an error. And then I just logged out of the app, tried to log back in, and I couldn't. So yes, it looks like one of two things are happening. Either Apple has said, hey, no, and that's that. or Beeper is legitimately having an issue on their side. Which one? Not really sure, but we'll find out as time goes on. And here, from Beeper's CEO, it looks like the Verge reached out. It said reached for comment. Beeper CEO Eric, insert his last name, did not deny that Apple has successfully blocked Beeper Mini. If it is Apple, then I think the biggest question is if Apple truly cares about the privacy and security of their own iPhone users, why would they stop a service that enables their own users to now send encrypted messages to Android users rather than using unsecure SMS? With their announcement of RCS support, it is clear that Apple knows they have a gaping hole there. Beeper Mini is here today and works great. Why force iPhone users back to sending unencrypted SMS when they can chat with their friends on Android? So right here, what we're seeing is the fact that the CEO of the company didn't necessarily say yes or no. Is it on your end? Is it on Apple's end? And if it's on Apple's end, then what I don't want to happen is for Beeper to potentially fix it today or tomorrow or next week, for Apple to then just break it again. I don't want to have this cat and mouse thing. Because again, if you happen to watch Quinn Nelson's video, we talk about how there has to be some type of hardware validation when it comes to your iMessage account. Phone number, Apple ID, whatever. There is some type of validation going on, and I feel like Apple is going to just either already has or will continue to just find ways to change that validation process. So those of us who are on Android devices will constantly not be able to be validated because the hardware is not Apple hardware. And yeah, that's the one thing I don't want, where today, they fix it, tomorrow Apple breaks it. 3 days later, they fix it, Apple breaks it again. And until Beeper is able to comfortably say, yes, we know how to keep this up and running, I'm not sure how comfortable I am with staying subscribed to them. In fact, I've already canceled my subscription. Now, here on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Beeper, it's saying Beeper Mini fix is coming soon. Our fix for Beeper Mini is still in the works. It's very close, and just a matter of a bit more time and effort. In the meantime, they deregistered your phone number, blah, 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 blah. And it says, sorry, you're temporarily a green bubble again. Annoyingly, the iPhone message app remembers that you were a blue bubble for 6 to 24 hours before falling back to SMS, so it's possible that some messages will not be delivered during this period. Yeah, okay, and that's fine. Oh, and that's nice. It's saying also we're extending all 7-day trials for an additional week. So I will maybe sign back up, but we'll see. But even then, as I was complaining about before, the color doesn't matter. It's the underlying technology. So I will say last night I sent a friend a pretty long text message, and he was just, I'm sure he read it, was just like, what do you want me to do about this? I'm like, nothing. You can't do anything about it. But I'm upset that I felt like I had the best of both worlds. So what's important here? Being able to securely message people. Part of it is just flat out security. Encryption is important, but also just the overall messaging experience when it comes to videos and pictures. When it comes to knowing that your message was actually delivered. If you happen to have read receipts on, then the people that you're messaging can see that you've actually read their stuff. Typing indicators, and I explained it to my mom, like, yeah, it's the little bubbles that go up, and it's nice to know that if you're kind of in a texting conversation, you can see it, hey, this person is actively responding. Things are faster. It makes sense. And I will say this, and we are well into the video now, it is Apple's fault. Every time somebody on Facebook posts, you're harming your family by having an Android. That's what Apple wants you to say. They are actively supporting a divisive practice. They know that, yeah, they created something good. Cool. It's software, whatever. But because there's a 50-50 split in this country, and because Google took forever to either, let's say, fully embrace RCS, you had iMessage just take off. And then, of course, iPhone popularity has also taken off. And Apple could, yes, make an iMessage app. They're probably never going to do that. But they could, and they charge for it. Plenty of people, myself included, would be willing to pay for it. That's why I'm willing to pay for this Beeper Mini app. But no, Apple is going to say, if you want to use iMessage, you need to do this. You need to use our operating system. But wait, you can only use our operating system on our hardware. So you got to buy an iPad or an iPhone or a Mac or whatever, most likely starting with an iPhone. But they are ruining the experience. They could make an app so that way everything works across different platforms. Now, since we are talking about RCS, Google has embraced RCS. Apple can easily adopt it. They said they'll start using it sometime next year. When is that going to be? I don't know. But it's still not going to be as good of an experience because based off of everything I've seen online, that version of RCS that Apple will support will not support encryption. So once again, Apple talks about safety and security, yet they fail to allow their own customers the ability to message their non-iPhone users securely. That is a terrible, terrible practice. It's okay to have competitive advantages and strategies or whatever, and when it's in the realm of what you offer, that's one thing. But as an iPhone customer, you are now having a degraded experience because Apple refuses to adopt a standard or refuses to open up their proprietary standard. Remember that. It's not your Android friend's fault. It is Apple's fault.